We'll call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for the Auburn City Council meeting for November the 15th, 2022. The City Council should have the minutes from the November 1st Committee of the Whole. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Move for approval.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second for the minutes. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes are carried forth. The Tree Commission, Mayor Pro Tem Whitten.
Yes, sir. We have 3 vacancies, and we also have 1 unexpired term vacancy. We have terms beginning immediately and end November 7, 2025. We have 3 incumbents who have all reapplied. I would like to nominate Seth Hunt for a second full term.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second for Seth Hunt. Any discussion, questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
For Jennifer Morse, she has also indicated a desire to serve a second full term. I'd like to nominate Jennifer Morse for a second full term.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
For the last full vacancy, I would like to nominate Donna Young for a second full term.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second for Donna Young. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
We also have 1 unexpired term, which begins immediately and ends November 7, 2024. We had 1 resignation by Nancy Golson, and for that position, I'd like to nominate Algeron Sid Coleman.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second for Algeron Sid Coleman. Any discussion or comments? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries forth, and we'll confirm all of these appointments later on in the agenda. Any questions on tonight's agenda for the city manager? City manager, anything for us?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we will adjourn and get started here in just about 2 minutes. We'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for November the 15th, 2022, with the roll call. Lindsay?
Adams,
Here.
Oblence,
Here.
Dawson,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Mormon,
Here.
Taylor,
Here. Here.
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence?
Parsons,
Pledge allegiance to the flag the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I believe I heard a late roll call from Mr. Parsons. This is a new night with a new term, and we're just getting started. So thank you, everybody, for your patience, and we're glad that Mr. Parsons is with us.
Good to be here.
During the Committee of the Whole, we made 4 appointments to the Tree Commission. The City Council reappointed Seth Hunt, Jennifer Morse, and Donna Young, and appointed Algier Coleman for a brand-new term. Appreciate everybody, all of their service to the Tree Commission. Thank you for the other people who also pursued that opportunity. Under Mayor's announcements tonight, I have a number of things I'd like to go through. A couple of weeks ago, what a wonderful evening it was over at the Gooch Performing Arts Center as Bill and Carol Ham were recognized and their name was put on the City of Auburn lawn and porch as the now Carol and Bill Ham Amphitheater. I just want to thank President Roberts, former President Gooch, President Pro Tem of the board, Bob Dumas, for their time that night and recognizing Bill and Carol for their all the things that they've done for this community. It was a very special night for our community, and we're very proud. I'm very proud to see their name associated with the City of Auburn's name on the amphitheater. It'll be very wonderful to go to the Gooch Performing Arts Center and go to the Waltos Theater and then go to the Ham and City of Auburn Amphitheater. It'll be a great scene there. The State of the City is tomorrow night, and I encourage you, if you have time, at 5:30 to come by the Gooch Performing Arts Center, and we'll talk about what's going on in the city and what will be going on in the city, and I look forward to recognizing 6 outstanding individuals who have done some awesome things for our community and telling a little bit of their story. This past week, we had a rainy Veterans Day, but we made it happen inside. I want to thank our staff and all the people who participated for adjusting and coming into our municipal courtroom, those that you could fit, and some of you stayed out in the hallway. But we made the best of it and had a nice ceremony with a powerful speaker. I just thank everybody for adjusting. Thank you for all the organization that went into planning Veterans Day. It's a wonderful tradition that we have as a community to recognize and honor our veterans. I also had a chance the day before to go out to Azalea Place and recognize those veterans out there that live at Azalea Place, and I appreciate their invitation. This has been a little while, and it was in our city manager's weekly news, and I just want to speak to this. A couple of weeks ago, we had Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day, and I personally participated, and I just think the enthusiasm and the organization of our staff as they receive those lines of citizens really getting rid and dumping off all their household hazardous chemicals and different materials. They had a plan. They executed the plan. They were happy for us to be there. They were very, very helpful. So Megan, Katrina, to all your staff, congratulations. It was great. Well done. The statistics here said there was a lot of folks that came by, so we appreciate that. This is a big football week in our community. Auburn High School is in the Final Four Friday night against Central. If they win, they will play at Auburn University on November 30th in the Super 7. We certainly wish them the best. At this time, as we speak, the Auburn girls flag football team is participating in the Final Four at Duck Sanford. The last score I had is Auburn was winning over Hoover 7-0, but it's still early. If they were to win that game, they would play at 2 o'clock at Jordan-Hare Stadium on November the 30th and be the first game during the Super 7. We wish them the best. And Lee Scott Academy plays for their state championship Thursday night in Montgomery. All the best to them. And that brings up the Super 7, which will be here November 30th through December 2nd. This is the Alabama State Football Championships. They'll be conducted at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Many of these teams and their fans and their cheerleaders and their bands will be in and around our community for about 4 days, counting Tuesday when when those teams that play on Wednesdays begin to arrive in our community. It's very exciting to be a part of that. I thank Auburn University and Auburn's athletic department for allowing us to come onto their campus in the middle of class and play those games in Jordan-Hare Stadium. There's a lot of work that's done on behalf of these student athletes by our university and our athletic department. And particularly, I want to thank our public safety who will extend themselves over 3 days to be a part of that tournament. Games will be played at 11 and 3 and 7 o'clock at night, and it should be a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody in the state of Alabama for approving Amendment 1 at the recent statewide election, which is referred to as the Nyes Law.
We've been talking about that. I've personally been talking about that for a while. I'm very proud with over 80% of the vote to support that amendment, and there was actually some activity related to that case today. And then finally, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. There'll be a lot of you that'll be traveling here in the next couple of weeks. Please be safe, and I hope you have an enjoyable time as we remember and give thanks to all the blessings that we have in our life here in the next couple of weeks. Any other announcements from our city council?
Yes, I do. On Tuesday, November 21st, Ward 1, we have a community meeting, and we will have some guests in the house. The meeting is from 6 to 8 o'clock p.m., and we'll have Dr. Joan Harrell from Auburn University with a discussion on becoming a beloved community. And she's going to have a panel of discussion about it and some of the needs in the communities that she want to discuss with the community. And we will also have Dr. Linda Gibson-Young, who will be setting up tables for the medical and health care center that has been placed in Boykin. And they would be doing blood pressure check, COVID testing, and a lot of different things that they will be doing. And we will also have a young lady named Erica Jackson, and she will be talking to the community about final expense insurance, something we probably need to hear or need to be looking into. So I invite and encourage everyone from the community to come out to our Ward 1 community meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Okay, anyone else on the council have an announcement?
I have one just real quick.
Please, yep.
Saturday is the holiday art sale at the Jan Dempsey. I think they take over the whole campus. So it's lots of fun. Go and support local artists and makers. It's been a great event, and I appreciate staff and everyone who's involved in making that happen, because that's where I do a lot of my holiday shopping. So I'm excited to get that done early, and that is Saturday at the Frank Brown campus, Jan Dempsey campus.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for that reminder. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move ahead with Auburn University Communications.
Hello again, everyone, and hello to some new faces on council. My name's Olivia, for those of you I haven't met. I get to come up here every week or every council and give you a little update about what's going on at Auburn. So it's nice to meet you. I'm glad to see you here. But first thing this week, as you mentioned, since next week is Thanksgiving, we do have Thanksgiving break next week, so students will be gone all week, which will be weird. And as I always say, please enjoy the quiet of us not being here. And with that, since the Iron Bowl is an away game this year, our last home game of the 2022 football season is this Saturday. We'd like to thank you for all of your support this season. It has not exactly been easy for all of us, as we know, so thank you especially to those of you who came and sat through that game on Saturday. It was one of the coldest football games in my recent memory. And I did go straight home and sit on a heating pad. So thank you. Please show your support again on Saturday. And let's hope that Caddy pulls off another one. Another thing, Better Relations Day is this Thursday. This was an initiative started in 1948 between Auburn and Alabama to foster stronger relationships and more collaboration between the student bodies at these schools. We've since added Georgia to this, so representatives from our SGA will go meet with representatives from theirs, and we'll talk about initiatives and policies that we can share amongst each other to make each other better. Another thing, kind of going back to football, if you did not have a chance to make it to the public open house last Friday of our new football facility, I do encourage you to check that out this Friday again from 4 to 6 before the basketball game. It really is a state-of-the-art facility, and it's going to mean a lot to our program going forward. So please go check that out if you have the opportunity to. It's free. And then lastly, speaking of new buildings, Auburn's College of Education received approval for a new 167,000 square foot building this week. It'll be on the corner of West Sanford and Duncan Drive. The College of Education is currently housed in the Haley Center, but their buildings are kind of split across campus, and this is going to give them the opportunity to have most of the college residing in one building, which is a big deal for them and for just the general identity of any college. So we're very excited about that. But that's all from me this week. War Eagle.
Good. Thank you, Olivia. We'll see you Friday morning. Okay, at this time is citizens' communications on items on tonight's agenda. If you'd like to speak to the council about anything on tonight's agenda, except for, there is one item that does have a public hearing. We ask that you wait for that public hearing to speak to the council. Please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes. Okay, seeing no one, we'll move ahead. City Manager's communications.
All right, Mayor, under City Manager's Communications, I have the announcement of one vacancy on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. The 4-year term begins December 21st and ends November 30th, 2026. Appointment will be made on December 20th. If you're ready, our first item of business is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Okay, anyone like to remove an item from consent agenda?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to remove 8 Bravo 5 and 8 Bravo 6, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to remove 8 Bravo 2, 8 Bravo 7.
Okay, anyone else? Okay,
Item 8B2 authorizes the purchase of a replacement CUES closed-circuit television or CCTV inspection camera PCU unit for the Water Resource Management Department's Sewer Division from Q's Incorporated in the amount of $18,085.04.
Move for approval.
Second.
have a motion and a second. I'll turn this over to you, Mr. Mormon, for your comments or questions.
I just want to make a quick comment. When I read the term CCTV, my immediate thought was that it was on a pole downtown looking at citizens. So for the citizens at large, I just wanted to make the point that this is to inspect sewer lines and not what you would think of with a CCTV.
Correct, and to inspect the sewer lines, and, for citizens listening, there's usually a memo in the packet that details what's going on, and people are definitely always welcome to contact us, and we'll be happy to answer questions.
Sure, thank you. Any other comments or questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then that motion carries.
Item 8B5 authorizes the purchase of 624 96-gallon rollout carts used for garbage collection by the Environmental Services Department from Toter LLC in the amount of $39,451.52.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Griswold?
Yes, thank you. These comments apply to both, the same comments to both of these items, so 5 and 6. It says that these are both replacement and for new residences. I'm curious about how many actually we go through in a year in terms of damage and whatnot, and what we do in terms of damage. I noticed the ones that we're proposing to buy all have pretty nice warranties on them, 12 years for the body and 10 for the other things. The ones that we're currently using, I know this is a different vendor, the ones we currently have, do they have a warranty of any sort?
I'll have Environmental Services Director Katrina Cook answer.
Thank you.
Yes, they have a short warranty. We have been using auto for the last 20 years, and many of those carts are extended past that warranty. The warranty does not include any neglect from households or someone placing fire codes or something in there that damages the cart or that cart being hit by a car. These are basic warranties, and we purchase and we get credits for items that we return that are damaged just because they're damaged, and we get a credit. And we're able to purchase new lids, new wheels, new axles, in which we replace on those cars that are curbside.
And so those replacement parts would come from the original vendor auto?
That's correct.
Okay, and this new this new vendor toter, is that something that how was that selected? Let's just put it that way.
That was selected because of the number of complaints that we're getting regarding the current carts that we have
Okay.
with this distributor. So Toter, when we checked around in other cities, we've actually used them before, and they seem to have a better product. So there's less complaints regarding the durability of them. So that's what we're working with, because we are going by and servicing each home 52 times a year and making all of those stops. So we just want to make sure that we get a quality product.
Okay, great. I appreciate that information. I know the one that I had delivered for recycling broke within a week. And I just fixed it myself, but was curious about how we go about managing the the wear and tear and the damage and the replacement. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? I know part of the recycle, I know this is the second item, has just been the tremendous growth we've had in participants, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right, so we'll deal with item 5 here. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Item 8B6 authorizes the purchase of 624 96-gallon rollout carts used for recycling by the Environmental Services Department from Toter LLC in the amount of $39,451.52.
And I will withdraw my request to have that pulled off consent.
Okay. Well,
Go ahead and, yeah.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Item 8B7 authorizes a contract with Wolpert Incorporated for the Lee County Cooperative Aerial Project in the amount of $184,013.84.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Sonny?
And I just wanted to point out on this one that the whole contract is for $533,980. And it's, the cost of that is split between Opelika, Auburn, Lee County, and Auburn University, and it's awarded, paid by geographical size, or assessed, I guess, by geographical size. I assume that that means that Auburn has 34.5% of the geographical size or population, maybe. I don't know how that really is broken out.
Mr. Chris Graff, he is, unless Greg, you want to respond? Okay. Chris Graff, he is our Deputy IT Director and Chief Information Officer, and he can respond to this.
Yeah, it's geographic, but it's not strictly our incorporated area. We look to expand a little bit larger to make sure we get complete watersheds for the area that we want to be responsible for. And then we talk about it as the cooperative, all the organizations that are participating. Each member of the cooperative then has slightly different products within the deliverables. And so if we're looking for a specific product that the others aren't, we're going to pay for that full amount. So it's not 100% strictly just looking at city limits and comparing cost ratios by that.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the consent agenda has been approved. Ordinances.
Under ordinances, item 9A establishes 6 stop signs and 1 25-mile-per-hour sign in the silos at Conway subdivision. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none. Any comments or questions? Okay, Lindsay, roll call.
Adams,
Yes.
Oblentz,
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Mormon,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
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 Item 9B is a request from B&B Self-Storage Center LLC to rezone 5.69 acres of property located at 3022 Cox Road from Limited Development District to Comprehensive Development District. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its October 13th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is required.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Seeing or hearing none. Before I open the public hearing, this will be a good time to remind our community that the council did make a decision to alter the rules of public hearings. There is a time limit of 5 minutes. That was discussed in our organizational meeting last night. So if you would like to speak to the city council on this, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes, and I'll open the public hearing. Okay, seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay,
Yeah,
sure, Tom.
Megan, if we approve this change in zoning, we're approving it for storage units, looks like.
No, sir, you're approving a change in zoning for any use allowed in the Comprehensive Development District.
So nothing is gonna hold these folks to doing it.
No, the applicant is the B&B that is a self-storage place, but when I last checked, and I'll have Mr. Foote correct me, I checked late last week on Friday, we had no application for a development plan for this site at this time.
That's correct. We had a deadline today, but I did not hear of any application for this coming in. It would be a conditional use.
So you are correct, Councilperson Dawson, that they are the applicant. They're authorized to act as such by the property owners, but if you approve this, any use allowed in the comprehensive development district, conditional or permitted obviously would go forward without council approval. Conditional you would see.
At this time, I want to move to table it till, or deny unanimous consent, or table it to the first meeting in, which would be best, the second meeting in December or the first meeting in January?
That's up to you if you're going to postpone it
I want
to.
to postpone it because I need to learn more about this before I,
Sure, it's either December 20th or I'll look up the January date. That's certainly up to you, whatever you prefer.
I would ask the council to postpone it to the first week in January, give all of us, especially myself, more time to look into it, see exactly what we're going to put out there, because, you know, it's turned into one of the first observation you have of Auburn coming in once we get the buckets up and going. And I think I owe due diligence to my constituents to be able to speak to what is actually being put out there.
The public hearing is closed, Mayor?
Yeah, the public hearing's closed. I'm sorry, the public hearing's closed right now.
You can wait till after the meeting and speak for 3
sure.
minutes.
Do you have a date
So
for
the
January?
January 3rd, the only thing that I need to caution the council is you have not discussed if you need to move that date for any reason. I've not polled you, so I might recommend that you postpone to the second meeting in December. You might have more information by then, but in case you guys choose to move the meeting date, the date's certain. We haven't had that discussion yet, so it would be December 20th.
Well, I move we've tabled it December 20th.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to move the decision on this to December the 20th,
Yeah, you would be
correct?
postponing it to a date certain of December
Postpone to
20th.
December the 20th. Okay, all right. Any discussion on that? Questions? All right, is that a voice vote or a roll call?
Voice vote is fine.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and sir, I understand you wanted to speak. I would encourage you after the meetings tonight, if you'd like to speak to any council members, to do that at that time. Yeah.
Mayor, and if I may, during the 3 minutes at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end, you can speak to us 3 minutes about anything on the,
Anything.
you like. Okay, resolutions.
Item 10A authorizes a contract with Bradley Heating and Plumbing Incorporated in the amount of $578,950 for the installation of air conditioning to the Frank Brown and Boykin Community Center gymnasiums. This will be funded through the American Rescue Plan, state and local fiscal recovery funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Is there any comments or questions?
I just wanted to know, is there a time or a deadline or a starting date on this?
Ms. Frazier?
Yes, right now, we don't have a start date. We are anticipating a 6-month material procurement time, but once we execute contracts, we'll get a better schedule from the contractor.
Okay, thank you.
So in the material procurement, that's 6 months just to get materials here before we even start construction, to
That's correct.
clarify. So
Yes, ma'am.
then what do we anticipate past the 6 months?
30 to 60 days for construction.
All right, so right now, we're probably looking at 8 months.
By the summer.
Hopefully by the summer. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
I'd like to comment, anybody who voted at Boykin certainly appreciates this.
I know that.
Absolutely, no question. All right, any other comments or questions? Yes,
Mr. Mayor, I have
sir.
one.
Yep.
We did part of the candidate forum at Dean Road, and many of us sweated buckets. And so I think that the Dean Road system, it will be designed at a later date and addressed at a later date, and it looks like there's money left in the pot to
That's
consider
correct. We
that.
budgeted for all three, and what happened was initially we were looking at a plan to move forward with just two before we learned we were able to use American Rescue Plan money for this. And so the initial two were designed, and the design was underway before we added Dean Roads. That's a separate design that we will proceed with and bid that item separately. One of our challenges is because we have to bid the full installation, it'd be nice to be able to order the materials ahead of time, but it has to be designed in order to order materials. So Dean Road's going to follow on as quickly as we can make that happen.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments or questions? All right, we do have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Item 10A2 authorizes the distribution of $3.3 million of American Rescue Plan state and local fiscal recovery funds to East Alabama Healthcare Authority to assist with offsetting a large amount of unreimbursed contract staffing expenses incurred in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
This is also in relation to the relief funds, which I know you mentioned that, but in the packet is a nice chart that outlines the allocation of those funds for anybody who's interested in seeing where those relief dollars are going.
And indeed, this was during your budget hearings discussed. It's also in the budget message and is highlighted in our budget, which is available at auburnalabama.org/budget.
Any other comments, questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10A3 authorizes a contract with Ingram Equipment Company to purchase two 2024 Mack LR 28-yard automated side-loading refuse collection body trucks that will be used by the Environmental Services Recycling Division in the total amount of $764,914.58.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Guess when you have to order all these extra carts, you need some trucks to pick them up with, right? Okay, all right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Item 10A4 authorizes a contract with WW Compton for the Jan Dempsey Community Arts Center renovation and addition project in the amount of $4,661,214.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council?
Do you have a timeline on this project?
City Engineer Frazier.
Not currently. Once we execute the contracts, the contractor's actually sitting in the room, so we'll have a schedule for you shortly.
Perfect, thank you.
I think it's important for our community to understand is it's not just what's going to happen at Jan Dempsey, but now what's going to happen at Dean Road. And this is going to make our Dean Road facility, we're going to have more capacity for our therapeutics programs here in our community. And if you know a certain segment of our population that continues to grow, it's our citizens that have special needs and unique circumstances, and this will allow us to do even more programming for them over at Dean Road. So this is a great opportunity for us to kind of reimagine what Dean Road functions as. So it'd be great for.
And Mayor, if I may, this is also rounding out with Lake Wilmore. You gave a conditional use approval to. This will be rounding out our first phase, finally, of Parks and Recreation master and cultural master plan projects. And this will be rounding that out.
Good. All right, any other comments or questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Mayor, those are all the items of business we have for you this evening.
This time is the opportunity for Citizens Open Forum. This is your chance to talk to the City Council about anything on your mind. We ask that you please come forward. You'll have 3 minutes. Give us your name and address for the record, and make sure your comments are directed towards the City Council. Yes, sir.
Samuel Ames. I'm here on behalf of B&B Self Storage. Sorry, I missed my opportunity earlier.
That's fine.
Just wanted to give you a little more information. We're still working on details, but it is plans to have storage centers as well as a car wash, and we understand that we will be required to have conditional use. We are working on that as well, but we currently do not have any design at this time.
Okay.
Be happy to answer any questions now or after the meeting.
Sure, okay. Any questions from the council right this second? Okay. All right, thank you.
y'all.
Yep. Who'll be next?
Hi, I'm Steve Cosgrove, 1927 Watercress Drive. And I wanted to just commend this initial city council constellation and wish you all as a new group well. New members, Max and Sonny and Tyler, good luck. Really appreciate your willingness to be a part of this really, really neat organization. I just have the deepest respect for what you all do and how you embrace the community and look out for the well-being of our community. Veterans Day always touches my heart, and also Memorial Day, and July 4th and so forth. And I know there's at least, is there 3 folks here that are veterans? I know Kelly.
2.
And Sonny?
Got a new one right here.
2?
The Bravo guys, you heard.
Yeah, the Bravo guys, yeah. But again, specifically, really appreciate your service. Really, really do. What I have here is a little flyer that was handed out at the Auburn Early Education Center. Well, that little school has special memory to our family. Our Jenna was the first student enrolled in that in 1992. So it's in its 31st year. So when I walked in there and walked back into the gymnasium area and so forth, I just remembered some of the things. The building is immaculate. I'm so proud of that. The building is immaculate. And I said to Sherry, and I said that, my wife Sherry, I said that this could have been opened this fall. And that's a real tribute to the management and the students and everyone. But what was really, really neat about how they did this, had all the classes come in and sit on the floor by class, had the brothers, the fathers, the mothers, the uncles, aunts, grandpas, and grandmas that had been in the military all sitting in the front of these kids, and they all mentioned who they were, what service they were in, and any other little idiosyncratic thing that they wanted to share. It was really, really touching. And all the kids, they sang a couple of special things, and it was really a neat tribute to everybody that had served, but everybody that was in there. And there was so many people in there, we couldn't just all sit down, which is great. I can stand up. But that's just one example of one thing that just one of the schools that I think you can be really, really proud of. But we can't express appreciation to our veterans and those that have served our country nearly enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Steve, I appreciate you bringing that forward. I was able to go over to J.F. Drake to their Veterans Day ceremony, and again, very special, very organized, very proud. The kids were very involved. It was, and I believe that happened at a lot of our school sites. So, really proud of our students and our parents and their families for celebrating our veterans. All right, anyone else like to speak to the council?
Good evening, Mayor and all 9 councilmen. It's been a while since we've seen all of you in your positions. Also, my name is Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive. 6 of you have been on the council for at least 4 years, and 3 of you are entering the first time on the council. Congratulations. I have to be specific to Sonny because he represents my ward. I appreciate you doing that. Look forward. I noticed you got pretty active in the activity already, so that's great. Please continue that. I wanted to give a little word of wisdom. When you make decisions, make it not just based on data, but make it from the heart, okay? I think it's important because we all are people and we're representing people, and we should try that. Progress is not just better roads, new commercial developments, or increased revenue, but it's also protecting Auburn citizen rights. Ordinance 3288, short-term rentals, where the past council voted 5-3 with 1 abstention, and spent 29 months going through the motions and having a useless task force to providing no data to support this ordinance. The proper way to be a good council member is to not just listen to city experts, but to gather your own information, going directly and talk with your constituents. I don't know if any of you went out and actually talked to constituents. They may have come to you. People like me that are voicing my opinion, or Mrs. Dean that had her group voicing their opinion, but maybe go out and just some people that you normally wouldn't talk to. It would be actually a good thing for you to do for your next election, because you begin to build a relationship and ask them their opinion and their knowledge. This council needs to revisit the ordinance 3288, short-term rental. As we're all aware, the constitutionality of this ordinance is before the Alabama Supreme Court. Likely, the city of Auburn will lose the case. Why not go ahead and either amend this ordinance, including everyone, or dissolve ordinance 3288, short-term rentals? Now, before you is an ordinance next month to take away business license from the entrepreneurs. You tried to do it in 18 days instead of 29 months that we did the short-term rental. Second to the last meeting, it was found on page 148 through 150 of our 250 pages. So I don't quite know what that happened, but that's the way things are. This is an open-end ordinance with no boundaries. No boundaries. It's just open-ended. Even our city manager stated that our next-door neighbor, Opelika, in 2007, passed such an ordinance. Since 2007 has not been used. Then why have this ordinance? This ordinance will be another tool in the toolbox. Just another tool in the toolbox. Maybe it's time to get rid of some of the tools in that toolbox. Thank you.
Who'll be next? Okay. Again, welcome to our new members tonight. Glad we got you good and broken in. We look forward to working with you. All right. Is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned.